St. Aidan, also known as Saint of Lindisfarne and the Apostle of Northumbria, lived from about 590 until the 31st of August, 651. He was an Irish monk and missionary who is said to have restored Christianity to Northumbria. St. Aidan lived in a time of conflict in the British Isles. There was conflict between Christianity and the pagan religions of the Anglo Saxons, and also conflict between the Christianity of the Celts and that of the Romans. Not much is known with certainty of Aidan's early life. He was born in Ireland and by reputation was very bright and very devout. Early in his career, he was made bishop, but he resigned to become a monk of Iona, where he learned the values of prayer, study, self-discipline, and almsgiving that shaped his future ministry. In the meantime, the king Oswald of Northumbria was figuring out ways to bring Christianity to his people. He decided to send letters to Iona, seeking missionaries to come and minister to his people. One monk agreed and arrived in Northumbria. The first missioner returned frustrated and angry, saying the people of Northumbria were unteachable and barbaric. As the monks were deliberating what to do next, Aidan spoke up. He said, to their surprise, that the fault was not with the pagans, but with the preacher sent to them, and that his methods were too rough and inflexible. The pagans must be treated with gentleness, fed the milk of mild teaching and encouragement before they could be ready for the meat of the gospel. Aidan was sent as the missionary to the Saxons. He arrived in Northumbria around AD 635 and was established as bishop of the area. King Oswald gave him the island of Lindisfarne. It was eminently suitable for him, since the island was cut off from the mainland, except twice a day during the periods of low tide, when a land bridge was uncovered. Here, Aidan established an Irish-type monastery of wooden buildings, a small church, and some huts. Here, he trained young Englishmen to preach the gospel to their countrymen in their own language. Aidan lived a frugal life and encouraged others to fast and study the scriptures. He himself fasted on Wednesdays and Fridays and seldom ate at the royal table. He tirelessly engaged in preaching and pastoral work. He traveled mainly by foot, even when traveling to distant towns. Aidan and King Oswald worked hand in hand, especially at first, since Aidan and his monks could not speak the language of the people. King Oswald translated for them until they became proficient in English. The story told about Aidan and the king demonstrates the depth of Aidan's love for God's children. When Aidan grew older and found traveling on foot more difficult, Oswald gave him his favorite horse from the royal stables. Aidan started his journey, and he came upon a beggar struggling to walk. He gave him the horse, elaborate saddle, and bridle. He then continued his journey on foot. When Aidan returned, Oswald was furious, asking, "Why that particular horse? Couldn't you at least have asked for an ordinary horse to give the man?" Aidan replied, "Do you care more for the child of a mare than for a child of God?" Oswald cast off his sword and knelt before Aidan in repentance, saying, "I will not refer to this matter again, nor will I ask how much of our bounty you gave away to God's children." Aidan, deeply moved, raised him to his feet, assuring him of his love and begging him to sit down to his food without regrets. Later on, during the meal, Aidan grew sad and began to cry quietly. Aidan's chaplain asked the bishop why he wept. Aidan replied, "I know that the king will not live long. He will soon be taken from us, because this nation is not worthy of such a king." Aidan's words proved to be prophetic. King Oswald was soon afterwards murdered by his rival and successor. 11 days afterward, St. Aidan also died after serving 16 years in his episcopate. He had become ill, and a tent was constructed for him by the wall of a church. He drew his last breath while leaning against one of the buttresses on the outside of the church. What he had achieved may not have been clear to him at death, but subsequent history showed the strong foundations and lasting success of his mission. Working in a time of great upheaval, violence, and uncertainty, a time rather like our own, Aidan spread God's peace by word and deed.